you do a de novo assembly, so assemble without a reference, align them to one another, and then you put them through a tool that cranks out the phylogenetic relationships. This was somebody else's example, and it might be somewhat controversial. I should have picked a different one like plants, but that's what the tool says. And that's the kind of thing people are these researchers are coming through this Cypress Gateway are doing. So you probably been sitting here asking yourself, as I've been talking, well, what about cloud computing? And certainly, that's a huge trend in computing. It's a definite, from my perspective, a definite resource for startups and early stage companies. And I think in the early days of Amazon Web Services, I think it was like all startups who were using it, though big companies have adopted it over the years. And I think we're not really out to compete with the cloud or be another kind of cloud. And I think what we do is very complementary to cloud capabilities. I think what we provide working with us is the locality. If you're in San Diego, and the expertise, the people who, like I talked about with that Janssen project, where we had the bioinformatics programmers and the systems people who could actually work with the Janssen researchers to, optimally set up the processing pipeline to get those analyses done very efficiently. And they could come over and meet with us face to face, and we could use a whiteboard. And I think that's the value of that sort of locality. I mean, what you get with the cloud is you get tremendous pricing. You have the marketplace type of pricing, like the Amazon slot pricing. You get true scale and elasticity. Kind of that illusion of infinite scale. I mean, we don't have that. Our systems. At some point you'll see they're limited. Whereas with the Amazon and Google, the perception is there's infinite capacity there, and flexibility through these cloud providers are if you look at the list of services that are available through Amazon Web Services now, it just keeps getting longer and longer. There's all kinds of different things you can configure that to do. So one of the models we've seen that's worked very well is start at SDSC and do some proof of concept prototyping or kind of trial types of things, and then scale up or go to production in the cloud. And we've worked with biotech startups like Human Longevity on that kind of a basis. And we've been able to. We're pretty nimble for a university. We can get agreements done pretty quickly. We can get people up and running quickly, and then so I think that's beneficial. And then again, they have the local contact, the expertise, get things up and running, and then while they're getting ready to go to production on a cloud system, or you could do a hybrid type of thing. So there, and we've had for example, for some collaborators, we've set up high-speed routing to one of the Amazon data centers where they have, they're getting their sequencing done somewhere else. The data is trickling up into Amazon S3, the Amazon storage service, and then they're pulling it down from Amazon over high-speed networks to our facility to do analyses on our high-performance computing systems. And if you really need true a lot of the computing in biotech is what's we call high throughput computing, or I call it server farm computing, where you need to do like kind of a single processor job, but you want to do 1,000 of them at the same time. That's different than truly parallel computing, where you have, like in the computational chemistry or molecular dynamics, where you have truly parallel codes that are using processors in concert at the same time, and you need a low latency network like InfiniBand, which is what we have on our system. So the cloud guys are they're starting to do some of that stuff, but that's not their best. That's not the thing they do best right now. So if you really need if you have true parallel computing things, then you still may want to look at going to a supercomputer center as opposed to the cloud. Another area that we have been sort of getting into in the last few years is training in big data and data science, and there's been sort of, it seems like there's been an insatiable appetite, for this kind of training, and so, not just here, but, all over the country. And, some of the programs that have come out, the UCSD School of Engineering has a Master of Advanced Studies now in data science. A number of our researchers teach in that program, and that's a 2-year program for aimed at working professionals. We have kind of some short form courses in data mining that we partnered with UCSD Extension on that have been very popular. They're kind of like I said, 2-day kind of intensive courses on data mining. We've been filling those up every quarter semi-annually for 3 or 4 years now. We have a Coursera program now, big data specialization, that we've done. That's 6 courses, so you can take a look at that. And then we do kind of ad hoc things. We, from time to time, hackathons, workshops, seminars. Check our events page at SDSC, and some of these things are free, and some are, and then the ones that aren't, you can check out the costs on those.
Question.
Yes.
So are you doing anything with respect to reusable tools? When you say you have a focus on bioinformatics, are you building up a library of tools or workflows or tool chains that are ported to the platform that people can reuse?
Yes. I mean, a lot of the bioinformatics codes are community codes or open source codes. They're developed at places all over the country. And then what we do on our cluster systems, we have our own cluster management software that manages the software distributions on the servers, and within that we have specific, we call them roles, but they're packages of codes, and we have a bio role that packages up many of these bioinformatics community codes that are used. And all of that software is open source. You can download it. If you want to set up your own cluster in-house, you can download these. The ROCS is the cluster management system, and you can download that. You can download the roles, and you could even call us and ask us questions about how to do it. If you decide that in-house you need your own cluster in-house, it's more important to you. So I wouldn't say that we're not developing a lot of these codes ourselves, with some exceptions. Like there's a molecular dynamics code called Amber that's very popular. That is developed by a group at SDSC. So, but these community codes come from all over the country and even all over the world. So in terms of what can we do? Just about anything involving high performance, high capacity technical computing, data management, networking. If you just want access to the systems, we do that. We have published rates for industry. We have pretty simple agreements, and kind of these are kind of pay as you go rates. By the hour or by the terabyte. Like I said, we're problem solvers. We like industrial engagements. We like new challenges. We like people to bring us new problems to solve. So, please consider doing that. I talked about, I think, the kind of rapid prototyping, proof of concept things are, we can be a good sandbox for you for kind of early stage types of things. And, we're very flexible. We try to, we try to be responsive to you and work with you to, come up with the unique, unique projects or unique project plans or whatever that are going to meet your needs. And there's just kind of the mechanics of it. There's a number of different types of agreements. There's a research contract if we're going to do research together. You know, there are, you know, when you do that, there are, you know, things you have to work out with respect to IP, ownership and so forth, which may or may not be attractive to startups or early stage companies. It's just something you have to take a look at. We have another type of agreement called a service agreement, which is more of a simple commercial contract. And it's mainly for, you know, access to our systems, and it's silent about IP, so it's really just a contract to come in and use the systems, and we, you know, we can sign confidentiality agreements, we can protect your proprietary information. You know, with Janssen, we went through a very extensive security audit, you know, to have certain of their information on our systems that we passed. With the service agreement, we can do some types of, we can add labor for consulting and technical support, you know, as long as, you know, we're not doing kind of joint innovation types of things. We are a nonprofit, being part of UCSD, and we're, again, this may be less interesting to startups. We're always happy to take gift funding. There's benefits to the sponsor and there's benefits to us to receiving funding that way. We are very good proposal writers. We have a very high award rate on proposals that we submit to NSF, NIH, Department of Energy. We're always open to teaming on grants and contracts. If you're thinking about doing SBIR or STTR for non-equity funding for your startup, you know, we would be happy to consider teaming with you or have you consider us as a team member for those kind of things. And I mentioned the training and workshops. Some of that stuff is free. Please take advantage of it if it is, and if the, you know, if the paid training is something you need, please take advantage of that as well. And then any of our free services, our community codes, our open source software, our portals like Cypress, you can tap into on your own. So that is my presentation. Be happy to entertain any more questions in the time we have left. Yes?
You mentioned coursework earlier. Is there anything you have that's available online for free, similar to like MIT's courseware?
Yeah, the Coursera stuff. I mean, you can, there's, I believe, 6 courses in the Coursera Big Data Specialization, and I believe you can take any of the courses for free. There's a cost if you want to get the specialization certificate, and I think it's sort of $500.
Actually, with Coursera right now, if you will search just for that specialization, that will kind of guide you to payment option. So you need to find like every course individually have a free option.
Yeah, good.
They're like tricking me right now.
It's fully virtual.
Say again?
It's fully virtual. You don't need to pop up anywhere.
What's it? Yeah.
It's fully online.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even need to be San Diego.
Oh, no.
Okay.
And then also, I put some flyers in the back, and there's actually there's a discount code on those flyers for some training. It says Biocom members only, but you can disregard that if you decide to take advantage of that. So, yes.
What would you say is the best way to get in contact with you guys? Let's say you have a company that's about to start a lot of data generation,
Okay.
and then you will need some consulting to handle and use that data. So just
I could be your point of contact, sure.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Any other questions? Thanks for your time. Thanks for allowing me to